TGI Fridays, also known as TGI Fridays or simply Fridays, is an American restaurant chain focusing on casual dining. The company is a unit of the Sentinel Capital Partners and TriArtisan Capital Partners, who purchased the company from Carlson Companies in May 2014. Its name is taken from the expression TGIF. The company asserts that it stands for Thank Goodness It's Friday, although as of 2010 some television commercials for the chain have also made use of the alternative phrase, Thank God It's Fridays. The chain is known for its appearance, with red striped canopies, brass railings, Tiffany lamps, and frequent use of antiques as decor. History. Alan Stillman opened the first TGI Fridays restaurant in 1965 in New York. He lived in a neighborhood with many airline stewardesses, fashion models, secretaries, and other young, single people on the east side of Manhattan near the Queensboro Bridge, and hoped that opening a bar would help him meet women. At the time, Stillman's choices for socializing were non-public cocktail parties or guys' beer-drinking hangout bars that women usually did not visit. He recalled that there was no public place for people between, say, 23 to 37 years old, to meet. He sought to recreate the comfortable cocktail party atmosphere in public despite having no experience in the restaurant business. With $5,000 of his own money and $5,000 borrowed from his mother, Stillman purchased a bar he often visited, the Good Tavern at the corner of 63rd Street and 1st Avenue, and renamed it TGI Fridays after the expression Thank God It's Friday. From his years at Bucknell University. The new restaurant, which opened on March 15, 1965, served standard American cuisine, bar food, and alcoholic beverages, but emphasized food quality and preparation. The exterior featured a red and white striped awning in blue paint. The gay 90s interior included fake Tiffany lamps, wooden floors, bentwood chairs, and striped tablecloths, and the bar area added brass rails and stained glass. The employees were young and wore red and white striped soccer shirts, and every time someone had a birthday, the entire restaurant crew came around with a cake and sang Friday's traditional birthday song. The first location closed in 1994 and is now a British pub called Baker Street. The brass rails are still there. Although Malachima Court's nearby eponymous bar preceded TGI Fridays and Stillman credited the media for creating the term, he had unintentionally created one of the first singles bars. It benefited from the near-simultaneous availability of the birth control pill and Betty Friedan's book The Feminine Mystique. I'd only a unregistered trademark to think there was anything else like it at the time. Before TGI Friday a unregistered trademark S, 4 single 25-year-old girls were not going out on Friday nights, in public and with each other, to have a good time. They went to Fiopli unregistered trademark S apartments for cocktail parties, or they might go to a real restaurant for a date or for somebody a unregistered trademark S birthday, but they were in a unregistered trademark T going out with each other to a bar for a casual dinner and drinks because there was no such place for them to go. TGI Fridays was one of the first to use promotions such as Ladies' Night, and Stillman achieved his hopes of meeting women. Have you seen the movie Cocktail? Tom Cruise played me. Why do girls want to date the bartender? To this day, a unregistered trademark. I'm not sure that I get it. He and the restaurant benefited from its location according to Stillman, 480 stewardesses lived in the apartment building next to and received publicity in national magazines. TGI Fridays became so popular that it had to install ropes to create an area for those waiting in line, also unusual at the time for a restaurant. A competitor, Maxwell's Plum, opened across the street, and others soon followed. With fellow Bucknell graduate Ben Benson, Stillman opened other restaurants, including Tuesdays, Thursdays, Wednesdays, and Ice Cream Sundays. Franchising of TGI Fridays began in 1971 in Memphis, Tennessee in the Overton Square district. That location has since closed. In 1971 Daniel Escoggin acquired the rights to 8 major Midwest cities. In 1972 he opened with the first of a new prototype in Dallas. The raised square bar and multi-level dining became the company standard. Dallas doubled the sales and tripled profits of Friday's previous best. Attracted by this performance, Alan Stillman merged into the Dallas franchise, forming TGI Fridays, Incorporated. Mr. Scoggin was the CEO for the next 15 years. He is credited with the then-new 200-seat prototype as well as many of the Fridays innovations, including a large from-scratch menu, potato skins, bartender Olympics, and frozen drinks. The company was sold to Carlson Companies in 1975. With this sale, Mr. Stillman and the original investors departed. Mr. Stillman kept the original location and, now married, founded Smith & Wollensky in 1977 with Benson. Mr. Scoggin continued as CEO on an earn-out contract and finalized his sale in 1980. When the sale was finalized, Mr. Scoggin signed a new contract to continue as the company's CEO. When the company was passing through the 100-store mark, it issued an initial public offering in 1983 with Goldman Sachs. Mr. Scoggin developed the first international franchise and the template for future international development. The first restaurant was opened in the UK with Whitbread. Prior to his departure in 1986, the company was positioned to appeal to a broader consumer profile. Alcohol consumption was de-emphasized, emphasizing quality over quantity. The company became privately held again in 1989. The focus was then switched from singles to families. A brand extension, which features the Fridays concept combined with the atmosphere of a sports bar and is called Fridays Front Row Sports Grill, is found at two Major League Baseball stadiums which each overlook the playing field, Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, and Milwaukee's Miller Park. Historically, the chain's highest-grossing location is at Haymarket Leicester Square, which opened in 1992 in central London. The Haymarket branch is also regarded as the most popular branch as well as being financially most successful. In October 2009, Haymarket broke the world record for biggest profit made in any week, throughout TGI Friday's history, and has also been home to several past winners from the Bartenders Olympics, a contest started by Dan Scoggin. On May 20, 2014, TGI Fridays was resold to Sentinel Capital Partners and TriArtisan Capital Partners. Franchisees: TGI Fridays is a franchising operation, with franchises owning most of the outlets. The largest franchisor is the Brad Group in New Jersey. An international franchisee was Whitbread plc, the owner of TGI Fridays UK. Up until 2007, it had 45 locations in the UK. On January 17, 2007, Whitbread sold operating rights of all 45 restaurants back to TGI Fridays UK Limited, thus exiting a partnership formed in 1986. Fridays has also been used as a restaurant for hotels run by Country Inns and Suites by Carlson brand. In 2013, as part of Operation Swill, investigators in New Jersey raided 13 TGI Fridays franchised restaurants owned by the Brad Group. They found that the bars were substituting premium brand alcoholic beverages with lower-cost brands, while charging them for the more expensive liquor. Design: the newer TGI Fridays franchises are more contemporary, with wallpaper, granite exteriors, and red and white striped lamps instead of Tiffany. The exteriors have stucco, the entrance doors have F-shaped handles, and a metal cup above the door has a stripe saying "In here, it's always Friday." Most Fridays have a propeller and a rowing skull on display as part of their antiques, which are actually a part of a story told to all Fridays employees. The skull always contains a pair of saddle shoes and a bottle of champagne to remind employees of the value of teamwork, leadership, and celebrating success. The propeller is always above or near the bar. The thought is that the bar propels the restaurant. Menu: Fridays has a large menu with an emphasis on alcoholic beverages. TGI Fridays formerly served Atkins-approved appetizers, intra-copywriters, and desserts. In 2006, the Atkins name was removed from the menu, but the restaurant continues to offer both low-carbohydrate and low-fat menu items. The UK menu offers gluten-free items. Licensed products: the company licenses its name to Heinz, which produces a line of frozen foods sold in grocery stores. A line of snack items and pre-mixed liquor drinks are also licensed and sold. The franchisee Euro unregistered trademark S exteriors were redesigned in 2009 by Gilfillan Callahan Architects, represented by Carlson Restaurants Worldwide. Global operations: Fridays currently has over 900 restaurants in around 60 countries. Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, Oceania. Notes. See also, List of casual dining restaurant chains, List of restaurants in New York City. References. External links, official website.